This year, 2017, I have seen more new releases than ever before. And I thought that the ones that I'd seen had all been wonderful, and upon reflection, that's not necessarily the case. So I made a list of all of the new releases that I'd seen this year, because I write down every film that I've seen. And there was a lot of them. And there were a lot that I thought, yeah, that was good. Things like Spider-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy and Despicable Me 3. They were all really good, but none of them made me go, wow, best film ever. This year has been amazing for new releases. But in the end, I managed to find 4 that I thought were pretty groundbreaking for me, and 2 that take joint 5th position. So let me know if you agree with any of these, and more importantly, what your top 5 film releases of 2017 are. So they're kind of technically in no order, but number 1 for me is Hampstead. As soon as I heard that this film was happening, I was just bouncing off the walls. I'm a Hampstead resident, I live here, so obviously I was going to naturally love that element of it. And yeah, from start to finish I could see places that I recognised. Diane Keaton went into a local charity shop, she bought a coffee from that, the famous kiosk that does coffee. That won't make any sense if you don't know what I'm on about. But yes, Hampstead was lovely. Very sweet story, very true story as well, about a man who lived on the heath, then he got an eviction notice. He's self-sufficient, but they wanted to kick him out, and it's all about how he meets this woman and they fight together, and it's lovely. It's a very sweet story. I admit, put my hand up, if it wasn't set in Hampstead, if I didn't live in Hampstead, probably wouldn't get the number 1 spot, but I'm biased and I love it. Now this one is probably joint top with Hampstead, if I'm honest. This is The Cult of Chucky. So in 2017 I watched Seed of Chucky and Curse of Chucky, and I watched the others the year previously, and Chucky is one of my favourite horror characters. Child's Play is one of my favourite horror series. From start to finish, The Cult of Chucky made me laugh. It wasn't overly scary because I'm not that scared of Chucky, but I thought the narrative was amazing. I thought the way the characters kind of interacted with each other was brilliant. The Chuckies were wonderful, and I still think that the moment where Chucky meets the lady with, was it schizophrenia? I think it was schizophrenia, for the first time when they interact, is one of my favourite moments in film from this year. The next one that makes my list, I think, is largely down to the cast. That's Murder on the Orient Express. Now I love Kenneth Branagh. Anything he directs makes me it just drops my jaw. He's such a phenomenal director. Not my favourite director, but I do love his work, and Murder on the Orient Express is obviously a fantastic fun story from Agatha Christie. And then when I heard that Olivia, Colman and Johnny Depp were going to be in it as well, it was just the best news ever, because I am madly in love with Colman. I adore Johnny Depp. Kenneth Branagh is fantastic. The film itself, I gave it a very positive review when I reviewed it, probably 2 months ago at the most. So it's definitely high up there. I think cinematically it's stunning. It's very impressive. It really impressed me. The narrative wasn't my favourite, but that's not Branagh's fault. It's obviously just the way the story is. But I think because I had such high hopes for it, and it did deliver, it deserves a place in this top 5. Number 4 is It, because I was very obsessed with this film running up to it, and then it came out, and I love Pennywise. It's amazing. I was very, very obsessed with it around its release. I still am. People often ask me, do I prefer the original or the remake? And I just don't know. I cannot work out which one I prefer. I guess it depends on what mood I'm in. Certainly the new Pennywise looks more scary, and certainly the new one's scarier, but the original just has that nostalgic feel to it. So I don't know which one I prefer the most, but it was definitely fantastic. So we have joint number 5. I'm being quite biased with a lot of these ones here, and 5.1 is Eat Local. And I don't really like vampire films, but I liked this one, and for that reason alone, I thought, yeah, it deserves a place, because something that I wouldn't ordinarily like, that had a really good narrative, is worth it. It's about these vampires who need to recruit somebody else to be part of their gang, because they have to have a certain number. And yeah, it was fine. It felt very low budget, but it was very well acted, and that's largely because Myles was in it, and that's very much why I'm biased and putting this in here, because I love her. I love Myles. She is perfection. And the last one, which I think probably should go before Eat Local, is Daddy's Home 2. Of course, there was a big competition this year between A Bad Mom's Christmas and Daddy's Home 2, both sequels. It's out at the same time with very similar narratives. But being a Will Ferrell fan, I just thought Daddy's Home 2 was always going to take the prize from me. Very Christmassy, very family fun film, and exactly what I needed when I saw it. You know, I needed something light-hearted, but still sentimental, that had a good script, a lot of great dialogue in there, great characters, fantastic performances always from Ferrell. And yeah, Daddy's Home 2 was definitely the favourite Christmas film this year. So those are my somewhat biased favourite releases of 2017, apart from Cult of Chucky, which is definitely up there with being my #1 favourite without any bias or anything. The rest are all kind of in there for a very specific reason, so if you took away one element, they probably wouldn't deserve to be in this list. Let's hope 2018 is better, and it will be, because Ocean's 8 is out next year. It's like 6 months away or something. I'm bouncing off the walls. Is Dumbo out end of next year, or is Dumbo out 2019? Not 100% sure. I haven't seen Jumanji or Pitch Perfect 3. I don't know if I'll get a chance to see them. In fact, I won't get a chance to see them before this year is over, so that's why they're not included in this list. But do let me know which films that have been released this year, either cinematically, TV movies, straight to DVD, Blu-ray, which ones you've loved the most, and I'll speak to you soon.